It's Drew Hart back talking to Ian Page. It's a beautiful Thursday here in Pennsylvania. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, it's a beautiful, cloudy, overcast day again in Wisconsin here. They're very consistent about it here.
Yeah, I actually lied. It's kind of shitty outside. Never mind.
Yeah, man, things are good. I'm excited about talking with Colin. You know, I know you and I both know him from the space and the industry, but I saw him present in Camp Ecom, and God, he just gets deep. He's just really, really, really deep.
He gets really deep, maybe too deep for some, but if people can have the patience, you'll learn something. That's the thing, and you have to respect the level that he can go, because that's kind of the level that's winning right now.
See, well, and I also think that like people that go deep, you know, which is what we do, right? Like it's a function of like being in an agency.
Yeah.
You've got the experience, and so fine, maybe you don't want to hear the in-depth version, but you know that person knows it. Then you're going to be hearing the higher level insights or whatever the directions, and it's based on something that's like really good.
Yeah, and I think the thing I'm excited about is, let's dive into his product launch stuff. Everybody wants to learn about how to launch products, and everyone wants to relearn, because every year they feel like they don't know how to launch products, because last year they had a couple failed launches, and they're like, so no matter how big or small you are, you don't know everything there is to know about launching products, because it's changing all the time. So let's talk to Colin about that. Let's jump in.
Yeah, cool. Let's go.
Sure. So we're live. We're live with Colin. How you doing, Colin?
Good, man. Amazing. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see you at in Las Vegas.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I saw both the play. I think I saw you in Las Vegas and also in the Miami.
Yeah, saw you in. We saw you in at Prosper, and then we saw you at Camp Ecom in January.
I saw you in the Miami MDS as well, actually.
Yeah, that's Ian. That was one where you were at the yacht.
The yacht. Yeah. I was in the yacht.
Did you do the ice plunge?
No.
Come on, no.
That's okay.
Oh, see, for me, it's like for me, those are like a very trendy stuff, which basically show that you're a badass. I don't have to show anyone I'm a badass. I am a badass, actually. So
nice. I love it. You don't have to prove it anymore. You're already there.
Buddy, and then I know I'm a badass, actually. If I want to do it, I'll do it. But the point is, it's like I tried ice plunge, actually. It's going against my will of it's like something that I felt like, why am I doing that? Why am I catching up on all these trends? I stayed in do you know Temascal?
Temascal.
Yeah.
No, I don't. What's Temascal?
Temascal is like opposite of ice plunge, actually. It's like they put you in like they call this like a mother womb. It's like a Asian, Latino, like a Mexican tradition, actually. So it's like it's like a closed area, dark area completely. You go inside, crawling inside, going inside, and they put you in like 140 Fahrenheit. I guess I'm quite not sure. They called us like it's like they open the 3 gates, actually. So every time they open a 3 gates, they increase the temperature. They bring like a volcano stone inside with a hot volcano stone inside. So basically it's like a sweat launch inside. You have to be inside for 45 minutes. So you get like a 5 minutes break. Every door's open. You cannot even go outside. You have to sit inside. It's a dark pitch night. Dark pitch, no lights.
No way out.
No way out. So people bail out like crazy. Like when you go there, people like it's super dark. People cry loud. I mean, I have no idea why I cried, but I cry loud like crazy.
I mean, if you're gonna cry loud, right? I mean,
yeah, it's, in my culture, it's against my principles. Like, as a man, you cannot cry. Like, that's how I brought up by myself. But that's the time, I understand it is like so that out of the topic. So that's the time I understand that, as a human experience, we have like we have a male experience, that's what we think. So everybody has like a human and female experience. So the energy, actually, so you let go what comes, actually, first. So you don't hold it, so you just release it, actually, whatever comes. It was an amazing experience. So it's most badass than Ice plunge actually.
Oh yeah, ice plunge is 3-4 minutes. You can just pop out whenever you want.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. It's like so much mind game. You have to go with the intention inside, what you want to get out of it. That's where my spiritual journey started actually completely. It was amazing.
Wow. Okay, I like it. He's spiritual. Okay, good. Well,
Yeah.
I'd like to tie in your spirituality with your business and your journey in Amazon and e-commerce, because I feel like those are hand in hand, right? So
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
tell everybody who's Colin Raha and like what do you what's your story? Let's start there,
So
buddy.
a story based. Let me give you a long and short version. So I was working in Bank of America. I was a software developer, data person completely, Oracle, and then I was dealing with like a billions and billions of data. Actually, that's what my background is. The one time I was fascinated about Rich Dad Poor Dad book. And then after that I was like completely going in like all the series of Robert Kiyosaki. And one time he's introduced like a amazing seller saying that this is the one of the way you can make money. So I was like, I'm a super stingy guy. I like, no, I'm not gonna pay you $5,000, but I can do it. I spend 19 hours a day. Uh, from the point that I listened to that story, I and then I made my first million actually at that point. So and then I started that. I started growing pretty good. That's how I started the Amazon game. Um, Apart from that, I'm a very curious personality, and then don't believe in like a straight answers of like this is what it is actually. So I always curious about why this is. I always questioning my beliefs and the other beliefs, trying to come up with my own answers for everything. But because in my culture, so one time I was asked my dad actually a question like that. I mean, I don't understand the Christianity actually. I want to know a couple of answers. My dad will say like, oh, don't try to analyze, just follow actually. So I always in a mentality of like keep following everything. So I end up in like, I don't like that. I'm not that kind of person. So I end up in like unlearning everything what I learned. Recently I discovered this actually. I try to unlearn everything what I learned and relearning the process actually. So that's how I started the Amazon business. That's what I got more curious about everything. That's how I got into more inside in the data, because also I came from the data background. So I'm typically somebody who is like a too much in a data analytics. I love research. I love to go in details. I love to get failed on certain things and then find an answer for it. That's a simple answer actually.
Love it.
That's a big part of the game. I think a lot of people get into the game and they don't realize how much of the data is how many hours a day big sellers spend on the data and the information. And I think people get into the game trying to get a passive income, and they don't know that it's actually a lot of just sitting there and mulling through boring pieces of data. But you and Drew have that in common. Drew's a total data guy as well. So you guys
yeah, but it's at the, we talk about it like in terms of data, Colin, but the reality is I really liked how I wrote this down. Like, I'm always questioning things too. Right. And I'm rephrasing what you said. I'm going to start adopting this, but like, I'm always questioning things. I'm always asking why and how, right? I want to know like why and how.
Yeah.
And I don't take it on face value. If someone gives me an answer, I'm like, well, why?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
And that research piece, and it's getting to the answer. It's like, getting into a true understanding where I feel really comfortable that it's intuitive. That now I'm comfortable. Now I'm ready to like take on the next thing. So I think what you're touching, and I love this idea that like, this to me is one of the core pillars of being an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Versus someone who's enterprise. And it's not that enterprise people aren't curious and they're not asking questions or anything, but you have got to freaking love ambiguity and want to get to understanding and doing that. Otherwise, like, everything's fucking hard as an entrepreneur. Everything is.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I think we have like a two part of it. Of course, we come for a passive for sure, 100% actually. I failed a lot of stuff by thinking logical. Sometimes logical is not the only answer. Sometimes it's like following the process. It's also another answer. But you cannot be so. For example, I went to a Shopify. I was in a big Shopify mastermind groups actually. So instead of following the process, I started putting a logical first. Actually, what happened is failed terrible because I don't have the lot of pieces, missing pieces. I have I don't know how to connect all the missing pieces. So the basically when somebody comes as like as a new somebody who don't know anything about it, I would say follow the process and reinvent when the process is working. Actually, you understand what I'm saying? That's what I mean to be like started doing it. Basically, when I started it, I literally started following the process. Like I asked for PPC, look all the videos what they're talking about, implement, and based on the result I ask for questions. Based on the results I ask for questions, then I keep going. Actually, when I get the results, when I get the perfect understanding, when I collect the data, then I can able to ask, why not test this? Why not? Why it has to be like that? Why it has to be like we have to put 900 percentage in the back end? Why can't we put like a 0.11 cents, 0.5 cents in the PPC? So I think that's the mixed personality of like us, and then going early in the either stage will be impact us in a bad way and also in a good way. It depends actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that you talked a lot about product launches. That's, you talked a lot in Vegas about that, and that's an area that really interests you and excites you. What about product launches specifically, an area where you're like becoming obsessed? Why are you obsessed with that right now?
It's a super dynamic actually. It is super dynamic. So we still do that one actually right now. So every product we have like a 250 point check actually. Well, because one of the thing I'm curious about is till now is like, why am I increasing the sales? Why the sales is going down actually? I mean, not a lot of people have the answer for it. Amazon is like a very closed system. If you consider that it is not like you're getting a traffic from huge amount of places. It's just Amazon. The traffic come from either from PPC or from your keyword search organic or Amazon external traffic.
It's true. It's actually pretty black and white. You're right.
It's a completely like closed system, so you can able to figure it out. If something sales going down, there's something must be happen in your Amazon system. And because people rely on only the data change in the front end, but there's a whole bunch of things in the back end they don't even rely on actually. So we have a process called a 250 point check actually. So we do that for everyday basis, for every day in our listing, from top to bottom, refinements to attributes, reviews to every single thing. We note it down completely, making sure that we stay on top of the listing actually completely.
Wow.
So because of that, we were able to get to the clarity of like, okay, if the sales goes down, we know exactly why the sales goes down. And if the sales goes up, we know exactly why the sales goes up actually, and what areas goes up. So we double if the sales goes up. If we found out that why it goes up, we double that effort actually. If the sales goes down, we were able to predict it very early, and then we can able to fix it and move forward actually. That's the another amazing things about Amazon, which is like, if you let that go for like a week, and what will happen is like you're going to lose the momentum actually what you're having with Amazon. But if you like start declining,
yeah,
by the time that you don't find it in a week or 10 days or 15 days, you started losing the keywords, you started losing the Amazon choice, you started losing every single thing actually, right? One at a time. But by the time, or like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's happening actually, then you'll be lost a lot of things. So if you stay on the data side of it, you should be able to be like find so many things immediately with a fraction of a second if you track all the data actually properly. That's fascinate me. That's create a lot of curiosity of like what something new Amazon coming up, how we can able to add in our 250 point check, and what we can remove, and how it can be making more sense for us to be stay on track top of it actually.
I've been really interested in the X factor. Like I feel like some products have just something kind of cool about them, and maybe it's packaging. I know you've noticed this too. Maybe something sexy about it, where like they have that kind of it factor, where they can't do no wrong. Even if the reviews go down, still sells, right? It's just cool. What do you think is like the number one thing that people fuck up in a launch? Let's just cut straight to it. Like, what's the
it's basically like they literally focus on so much about like profitability actually, instead of like one, they're not spending on a good image. So if your product is okay, first of all, the first, no, I don't take any product, any brands who has like coming up with like a go-to product. Actually, basically, if somebody coming up with like, okay, hey, can you launch the spatula for me? They couldn't even find their own product when they put the spatula. Couldn't even differentiate that one. That's like a freaking, what are you doing actually? Completely.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
it's destined to
You,
fail.
it's a defective that you choose the product and you have like a 5,000 units right now, and then you're probably gonna not making money actually at this point, right? That's a first. Then let's say that even in that spatula, right? Let's put up like a hypothetical way of like some new cool innovation, your spatula and making into 5 different options that you can spatula can do, and having like amazing image actually, and you're selling for like a little bit about than your competitors. So you run ads actually, you're gonna get like a lot of clicks and you're gonna get like a lot of conversion. The whole aspect of Amazon is like clicks and conversion actually.
Yeah.
As long as like for your particular keyword and for that particular category, for your particular browse nodes, as long as you get like a better clicks and a better conversion, you win the game actually.
Do you think clicks are more important than conversion? Because I'm starting to realize that the amount of clicks is more important than conversion. Just
100% actually, but eventually, but it's okay. Clicks, okay. I'll put this. I'll put this way actually. For the keywords, the clicks are the first level of entry for your keywords actually. I mean, if you have the keyword, so if the bunch of competitor there for the bunch of competitor, you getting the clicks and none of them getting clicks, right? You're gonna rank actually. All right. The second set of conflict on this is basically, okay, everybody getting clicks and you getting the clicks, but you are getting the highest click actually, so you're gonna rank actually, right? And third one is like everybody's getting clicks and sales, and you getting a better clicks than other people, better sales than other people, you're gonna rank. But in case that everybody getting better sales and better clicks and you're not getting it, then you're gonna be fall back actually.
no matter what you do. It's true.
It doesn't matter what you do actually,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and if you keep it there for like a 15 to 35 days, you will last a little longer, but you have to be again stay on top of the algorithm. But instead of it, just make sure that fix your listing actually properly. Recently we had a call with a bunch of entrepreneurs. So one person was like talking about like, okay, we need to fix our listings properly first.
Correct.
Need to have like a solid listing that people will not say no to our product actually completely. But even that, if you have a go-to product, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what, even if you put a gold in your listing, actually, nobody's gonna buy it actually. Why? Because it's like they could choose anything actually. Like what? Because there's no branding required for buying the spatula actually. Like what is that quite good value that you bring?
They're gonna click the bestseller badge at the top. Done.
That's like a 30% of sales is goes actually. That's it, it's gone actually. The rest of the sales are coming from the second row. Third row will be like another 22%, another 15% goes there. So then it's like a choice of like, then it's become a bias market, not like a you selling it on your you're like lot of
It's
people.
a flea market. It's like
Exactly.
it's like a garage sale.
It's like, yeah, you don't able to control everything. You'll be controlled by the market right now. You're not able to determine. Then you compete with the pricing. You compete with like a, even if somebody will reduce $1, you have to reduce $1, otherwise you lose sales actually.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
you said profitability. I want to touch on that because Drew and I manage expectations with all of our clients when we're launching products. That hey, profitability is it's 4 to 6 months out. Like that's what that. So what do you mean by people screw up by trying to be profitable? Can you go into that a little more?
Yeah, so basically when you're launching the product, you're ready to invest. So you already invest like $10,000 to $15,000. Let's say you ordered like a 5,000 to 5,000, 3,000 units or 2,000 units based on the market what you're going in right now.
Yeah.
You put up for like a $10,000 to $15,000 investment. So for me, it's like every investment is required. It's like a 3 months. It's a complete going in investment. Next 3 months is to collect all the back. After 6 months, I'm making the money actually.
Dude, we are so aligned, right, Drew? Like,
so
Yeah.
that's what it is. You need to spend money for, I mean, I'm talking about typically like 3 months actually, but sometimes if the product was one of the product we launched, which is like a pretty much unique product, and we started making sales on like a 15 days period, we are profitable on the next 30 days completely. So sometimes if you have a unique product or unique market where you can able to go on, then you can able to break break up super fast. If not, you're going into like go to product, forget about 6 months, maybe like 8 months actually.
Yeah, right.
You're not even able to make profit actually at that point. So
And
you
I
have
thi-
like some level of edge compared to your competitor. Yes, Drew.
yeah, and I think, I mean, this is the thing that we're telling people too, is like, 2 years ago, that timeline's different. It
Yeah.
was moved up a month, right? Or two. And depending on how excited or like, because you're dealing with sellers that it's their baby. Like they've been thinking about that product for a year before they start talking to us about product launches. And so they're really convinced of how great it is. They feel like they really understand the market and they really know the details and everything. And then when we come in, we're coming in with fresh eyes and a third party perspective plus experience, by the way, because it's like we've launched literally hundreds of products, good and bad. And so then we're making recommendations. They're like, I'm not so sure. Or other ones are like, oh my gosh. The one that gets me is they budgeted $20,000 for advertising spend. They're paying an agency to come in and support them, right? That's a couple extra $1,000, especially over the lifetime of the engagement. So then you're looking at all of that, and then you're like, well, can we talk about your product listing? And they're like, yeah, I don't feel like I want to spend $2,000 getting that done correctly. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it's like the number one.
I hear you. So one other person reached out to me for the product launch. They have a very big category, and but they coming in e-commerce first time. They find somebody in a Fiverr or some other freelancer. He said he's going to launch the 20 products for monthly $2,000 something. Actually, I was like, his budget was like not for him. The whole budget for a launch is $2,000 actually.
Yeah.
I was like, I said, run. I mean, run away. Like he's not gonna be able to launch that one for $2,000, 20 products, and you have a high level product, and you want, and especially the people who comes like, my product is premium actually.
Right.
They have a premium price. I mean, they have a premium price, but they don't want a premium money. They don't want to spend a premium dollars. They don't want to spend like a top dollar on like doing the conversion aspect of it, doing the optimization aspect of it, creating the listing aspect of it. No, they don't want to spend. They are like super stringy about that. I don't want to spend this much money, but my product is premium. They're forgetting the fact that the product cost is only like a 15 to 22% actually of our P&L actually, right? The rest of the money goes in like advertisement, and then all the expenses extra coming up. So you worry about like a 5% difference is become premium. That's not how you define premium. The premium is like you put up a money upfront about like a better updates, better optimization page, better images, better listings, better influencers, better TikTok, better do something.
Social credibility. Like you've
But
got
yeah,
to really do it all.
then yeah, of course, like after that, then you can able to get that premium aspect for sure actually. But it's too early to look for that one. That's the dilution that people are get diluted sometimes with those kind of people who know about Amazon, people who've been there in the market for long. They understand this. The people who's like coming as a new, and then they were like had like a secret, I mean, immediate success somewhere with a new product, and then they end up in like not able to predict, not able to project how they got successful, how they were able to scale, and they were like end up in like having the same mentality. Oh no, I launched the product for like $5,000. I want to launch it for that cost actually. But you're gonna learn actually for sure. But you're gonna fail, but you're gonna learn eventually. That's what is gonna happen actually. So
yeah, that's interesting. So tips, tricks, where do people start? Because like we just talked about the end state of what they need to like that's where they need to land.
yeah,
One of the things that we do, Colin, when we're working with clients, there's a lot of education, right?
Yeah.
A lot of like slides that show historical performance, and here's what a good one looks like and a bad one looks like. And we did this together when we were at the conferences. This is what we educate people on. But then we also do things like we actually have a formal process now that takes a client all the way through all of the things that they should be doing. And it's not overly exhaustive, but it's thorough. It's all data driven. And that's the part that like that we struggle because we're constantly having to like sort of explain, you need to talk to a customer.
Yeah.
Right. I'm blown away at how many products get launched and they've literally never even talked to their customers to understand why would they use this? How would they use this? And and it's like a basic for tech startups. Tech startups will fail if they never talk to their clients.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, so I find it's a very interesting. So I usually I don't like to be I usually tell the people in straight, actually, this is what it is. I mean, either this product has like a 50-50 chance or 20% chance to be in the market, actually. Like sometimes they get really mad of like I tell them like, hey, I don't, if I cannot let you make money, I don't want to make money out of you. That's it, period, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be successful. And if I can able to be help you to be successful, I'm happy to share things with you. That's all, right? Sometimes people they believe on their products too much. They die with their product too much. Actually, they end up in like not able to see that's what the Steve Jobs one time say you make mistakes, and sometimes you make mistake in the innovation. It is always better to find it early and then move on to the next set of innovation, actually, right? So that's how you need to be. Sometimes it's hard to be communicate. So one of the guy I was speaking with, like almost like 3-4 months, they are not even a small company, they're a retail company. They're like completely like want to launch in Amazon. They're like going back and forth, man. They're like still talking about it, like, hey, I want to launch it, but I don't want to launch it. Can you put up like all the calculation for me, how much it's going to cost us for us to do this, like what is the calculation and everything. They like keep going back and forth. It's a better the best word in the world is like action, actually. So you just have to take jump in, and all you're going to do is like you can able to figure. So I usually like able the best thing is like what we do is like, since we have tracked so much of data, the best thing what's happened to us is like we can able to predict like if the product is going to go good or not, actually, in a week. If the product and listing will be good or not in a week, then we can able to stop that launch right away, and go back, and then find out why this is not happening. Why? Because we know the fact that when we did the everything what we need to do in the third day or fourth day, you need to see the bigger jump in our ASIN, actually. Not ASIN, I'm talking about the keywords. If you don't see that one, there is something that fundamentally wrong with your listing. So stop the launch and then go and then fix it back. That's the first best hack, I would say. If your new launch is not being really ranking any set of keywords, you're not ranking any kind of even for example, even if you're not ranking for 100 search volume keyword, that means that there is some problem in your listing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say your ranking is good, and the hacks. There's a lot of ways to rank, right? Let's say you get to top 5 on a bunch of keywords, but the sales aren't responding. And I know you have a big checklist, so it's hard to put it in that. But what's your first order of business? Do you really focus on that main image as your first order of business?
The first step is I need to define how many keywords I need to make a minimum sales, actually.
Okay, so how many keywords ranked, obviously, total search volume you need to drive in X amount of sales per day?
Exactly. So the first you define that, and you define what set of keywords it is. Based on the keyword, you prepare your listing.
Yeah.
So based on the keyword, like for example, so you're selling a hat, or you're selling sandals or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or even if it's like a moisturizer or something. So what type of moisturizer? Is it for a sun? Is it for a cold? Is it for what, actually? Is it like night? Is it the keyword is like for night or morning or whatever it is? Let's say that you have like a keywords which is like related to talking about more on the morning aspect of it. That's where like a biggest search is going on.
The long tail.
The long tail or browse node and purchase keywords are like that, actually. So let's say that my first 2 phases are related to that one. So then I focus on my listing related to those keywords, actually. So I focus on the image first. The image will define, okay, if I choose the keywords, if the keywords can able to like bring like a 20 sales initial traction in the first phase of the launch, it's a big momentum for me, actually, right? Within a 7 days, I can able to bring like 20-30 sales. It's a good momentum. So I take that one, define the images, and then second, third images are basically like a second and third, fourth phase. How I can able to mix up those images with my keyword perspective, how I need to mix up my title and the bullet points with the keyword perspective. What is my third phase and fourth phase, like how I'm going to add the keywords inside. or how I'm going to make it relevant in my listing actually. So that's the big part actually, first of all.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So I want to debate this with you, Colin, because we don't do it this way. I mean, we
Okay.
do a lot of what you're talking about. So don't get me wrong. It's not that we
Yeah.
do it
No,
differently. We just
no
do
one
it.
way street actually.
We
Yeah.
do it. We do it differently. We don't do it differently. So what we'll do is we'll start out with a competitive landscape. Like on a we're talking about launch, and I'm being a little bit more holistic than what we're just talking about. But we'll start out with a competitive landscape, right? And it's really dialed in. Like if you're selling, like we always talk about snorkel masks as example, and we've got ones that cover your eyes, and you got ones that cover your full face, and those are different, but the search terms are very similar. So when we do our search term research, we're doing it on the full face. Now, we might also look at the adjacent market. It's not that we wouldn't do it. If it makes sense to do that, we'll totally do that. We might look at both and then see what the results are and then make an intelligent decision. But the point is like, what's the price point? What are the reviews? What are the ratings? How are we going to fit in to this landscape that exists today? Then what we'll do is we'll take the top 10 and we go scrape all of the reviews. And we have a human process on the front end and the back end with ChatGPT in the middle. But we filter like what we want to put into it, and then we filter what comes out of it. And what we're doing is it's shopper reviews, but because we're looking at everybody, we're aggregating what do people love and what do they hate about these products, not just the top one.
Yeah.
So now we have a roadmap. Now we kind of have like this idea, like what do shoppers love? And then if we have a product that addresses what they hate, we'll make sure that goes in there. We're more dialed in on like trying to be shopper focused there.
No, I jumped in like a 7 step further actually because of for the Ian question. Basically, we go like a 30 listings actually. Basically, we have a specific Excel what we follow actually. We have all the dialed in. I think I shared that one in the ecom camp actually. So we able to find a strength. What is a strength and what is a weakness of in terms of like a keyword level and then browse node level and everything. We take all these data. Of course, we work on the pros and cons. The pros and cons, we do it even before the product development stage of it, actually, right?
Yeah, you have to. Otherwise, it's too late.
It's too late, actually. Then I have to be I mean, I usually ask them anytime the brand comes in, I ask them the product, hey, what is that something that you did differently compared to your mind? They must have done something actually, right? Instead of just copying it. So what do you have done compared to other person? The pros and cons, we take that value and then of course adding it as our advantage on that one. After that, you can able to find, for example, let's take this way, right? There is easy way to find is like, so the first person taking like a 30% of sales, second person taking like a 25%, and it get diluted like that, right? Completely like going like slowly reducing it. If you see anybody who's like a below 500 reviews or anybody who's like there or below review, like whatever the below review is, like it could be 5,000, 1,000 or whatever it is, right? And they're making like 1,000 sales, and if the keyword ranking was like the top 5% keyword was like 15% actually, the total keyword value what they have is like total volume of keyword is like a 200 keywords. He making 1,000 sales out of that, making ranked for 10% actually. That means he ranked for almost like a 20 keywords actually. That's what it is. The top line keyword what he ranked for, it's a 20 keywords. So if you rank for this 20 keyword, cut that one into 30%, like cut that one in like even 50% actually, which means 50% come from PPC, 50% come from the organic actually, right? Let's keep that way. I'm talking about usually like it comes like 30, 70. So let's keep it like 50%. Even if I get that keyword 20%, 10% keyword actually, which is like 20 keywords, I can able to get sales, 500 sales for these keywords actually completely.
So you're thinking with a wider tranche of keywords than trying to just dominate one keyword or two keywords when you know you're probably more likely to win on a bunch of keywords and they add up to the total.
I take this value and then look for a similarity actually. What keywords are come from one browse nodes and multiple purchase nodes, like a root and then you can call it as a root and then a long tail, right?
Yep.
There's that similarity comes out. So then I divide it into like, okay, let's say that the 20 keywords have like a 3 nodes, a 3 root keyword or 3 browse keywords actually completely. Then I will take, I will go on and take the root keyword and create all the purchase keywords completely, and I divide it into phases actually completely. So then that's how I was like, making sure. And also I go to the top seller, find out what are the top three sellers are completely ranked for, right? And every phase we launch, we try to put up like a next phase of launch as a test launch actually. So let's say that we're doing phase one launch, the phase two launch is already in the test of checking the conversion aspect of it, how much clicks I'm going to get aspect of it, and also how many, what is the brand analytics aspect of it. We go and then measure all these things first.
How
So
long? How long is a launch, Colin?
so launch typically take 45 days to 40, sometimes it's 45 days to 60 days, 65 days actually.
So how long is phase one, phase two, phase three typically?
7 days to 10 days actually. Each phases takes 7 days.
You know what? The difference between you and me, and I kind of like your way more, is that you run it tighter than I do. I run it a little looser. I look at, first 2 weeks, maybe first 30 days. You're doing things on a daily and a 7-day.
Yeah, it's a certain. So here's what's a biggest hack what we found, which is like we don't run for root key, purchase browse keywords actually. You can call browse key. I mean, I don't call as root keywords. I call as like a browse keywords and purchase keyword. Why? Because sometimes 2-word keywords are purchase keywords. Sometimes like a 3-word keywords are become a root keyword. The difference is where we're not getting highest conversion, it's become a root key. It's a browse keywords. Where we're getting a highest conversion, it become a purchase keywords actually.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? So basically, the browse keywords, how we can rank for a biggest browse key, for example, even like a silicone spatula, if you take it. So if you rank for all the underlying purchase keywords, your browse keywords automatically come on the top in a 10 days actually.
Got it.
It's come on like a top 7th or 6th positions actually. And then after that, we take that as like a measure that, okay, if that's not coming in, that means that we're missing something on the listing. We're missing some ranking keyword. This is how we were able to stay on top of the keyword after we ranked, because we have the foundation of that keyword is very strong, which is like we were ranked for all the underlying keywords. So the top line keywords were like able to become automatically, if that automatic situation, that's also another checkpoint for us. Is it in a 7 days period that that we didn't even run the PPC, we don't even run any kind of social signal, we don't even run any kind of add to carts or nothing, but that keyword is coming up on the top or not? If it's not even coming on 10th position, there's something that we're missing there on the listing.
And to get ranking, in addition to PPC, are you doing external traffic? Do you guys have your own little giveaway flows? What are you doing? Like, let's get right into it. What are you doing to help make sure that the product does rank early?
It's a typically like the Amazon algorithm. It's a typical Amazon buyer's behavior actually. So whatever the buyer's behavior, you try to replicate it actually. If not, you'll lose the game. Either you do it, so we do it. You can use the tools. If you're lazy, I mean, I'm lazy for sure.
You
But
don't seem lazy, but okay.
yeah.
All smart people are lazy, Colin. I'm the laziest.
So I love that I'm lazy, to be honest.
I'm not lazy and I'm not as smart. So it kind of makes sense. Yeah.
So you can come up with like a 2 things, which is like you can run an external traffic. You need clicks. The first thing is like you need an impression. So somebody needs to see your listing, right? So second thing is like you need a clicks. Third thing, you need like add to carts. Like third thing is like a wish list. We had a wish list before. Right now, you and me, it's a typical behavior. You go on and check the books. How many books you wish listed this month? I wish list like 15 books this month actually, but I'm not gonna read it right now. But I'm gonna read it in the future actually. I'm just wish listed like for the future thing. So
you
that's
think
how
wish list actually does help with ranking. Like, you're basically saying it. Wish list does help.
it is. It was helping really great before.
Yeah.
It was not really well right now.
Okay.
Have like a lot of weightage because before it was working, because we were I don't know what's happening. I tested this actually, right?
Okay.
But it was not a big weightage for me.
So now Amazon wants the conversions. They want that money.
They want the
sale.
So then you need to have add to carts. So then the this is a purchase behavior, right? Add to carts, and after that you need to have a purchase, and then you have to have like a repeated purchase as well. So that's the typical behavior of the customer. Actually, if the ratio you don't maintain it, you're probably gonna lose it. You can win it without all these things by guessing things. You could have been caught ranked because the competitor who you are with, they were not aware of all the things. They are not doing anything what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
So that's how you go in a market with all the knowledge what you have, and you can able to take over anybody. And if you know what to do, I mean, there is a lot of way to be doing it in a very white hat by running the Google traffic and putting
Yep.
up a Google on code or whatever, so that you can able to get clicks, that
Yeah,
you can
Google traffic gives you add to carts. It gives you
yeah,
clicks.
it gets you clicks, it gets you add to carts, that you can measure that one in
Yeah.
brand analytics and so SQP data actually in a bigger
Okay.
way.
Okay.
So
A few more questions, and I promise, Drew. I promise.
I
Drew,
want to go. I want to go.
I promise, Drew. Like, come on, please. I promise. What ACOS? I'm going to give you some flash questions, flash answers. We're short on time. What ACOS do you usually tell your customers to expect during the first 30 days, 60 days? Just general.
I don't ask them to. I tell them that don't expect anything actually.
Okay, so you kind of
I mean,
follow.
not. I mean, I don't. Even when see, okay, this is how I follow the basic principles. I think I don't know why people are complicating PPC. To be honest with you, I have no idea. I feel like PPC is a simple data that you can able to have like so much of information for your list. I find social signal, giveaways, and clicks are offense, and then a PPC is for defense actually.
Got it. Okay, so okay.
Come to a PPC, like a PPC, what we do is to protect my positions. That's the 10% or 8% what you're paying for Amazon. If you notice it, right? If you turn off the PPC, your keyword will go bad actually. Your keyword will, I mean, I seen it when you turn off the PPC, your relevancy get affected really bad. I don't know why, to be honest with you. Okay. So, yeah, exactly. You have to pay the Uncle Sam, I guess, right? So maybe Uncle Bezos. So, but the another point is, right, when you have even spending $2, you out of budget, it keeps the same way that even if you keep like $100 budget actually.
Oh, I got it. So you don't ever turn off keywords, but you'll just lower the daily bid so you can keep some.
That is it actually. So we keep it that way, like in terms of like we spend 8 to 10% to keep defending my positions. I mean, if I'm profitable, I spend much bigger. If that keyword, there's a PPC helping me to rank, I keep it in the lowest one. So we have a campaign which divided into non-profitable and profitable campaign. Even non-profitable campaign we divided into two, which is like a ranking ability, non-ranking. So if certain keywords not even able to rank, not even able to profitable, we turn that off actually completely.
So if you can't rank, you can't make a profit, screw it, let it go. If you can rank, keep it.
If you can rank it, keep it, but keep it in a minimum budget.
Like, and then if you profit, that's a different bucket, and that one you could probably spend a little bit more money depending on what your tolerance is.
Exactly. And also we're doing a day parting in terms of like, okay, if it's not profitable, but if you're able to rank it, you don't have to spend money on the morning period. You can spend money on the evening or afternoon or evening period actually.
Sure.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's good feedback, Colin. I just learned something there, and we have a reporting platform that we built, and we segment data in like all kinds of fucking really interesting ways. Real simple ones are products and brand versus unbranded, but we also do tail type, so short tail, medium tail, long tail. But we remove all the stop words, so so we're looking at normalized data. We also look at data based on relevancy. So if we're selling a snorkel mask, you got to have the word snorkel in there. You got to have the word mask in some order, right? And any of the synonyms that go along with it, right? And that way we're looking at highly relevant, medium relevant, and we don't know what's other, right? And then you can segment based on short tail, medium tail, long tail. Also, you get these really interesting views.
Yeah.
But the one that we don't do, you just introduced this, is just segmenting based on profitability.
Yeah.
Because we can do that. We can just segment our we have the inputs from our clients that let us calculate all these things: TACOS, ACOS, acquisition costs, and then if we know the price point, which we do, we can just subtract that.
And the another factor is conversion as well. I mean, I also focus on the conversion. So let's say that
It's no doubt, right? Like hands down.
If the sometimes your A cost is like high, your conversion is much better. I mean, we run that one actually.
Yeah.
If I'm able to rank those keywords, I run it. I mean, and also, so let's say that I ranked certain keywords on the top position. I don't have to be in the top position for the PPC.
Right.
So at that point, I try to be like a second or third or fourth positions of the
Right.
PPC.
Right. Yeah. We do the same thing, right? But what I was in, and I will play with this, but like what we do right now is we'll go look for high relevancy, and we'll see how aggressive we are on it, and then we'll go look at the organic rank for the keywords that are in that group. We don't actually care what campaigns are in, by the way. We're not looking at campaign level data. We're abstracting all that. And so when we look at, like, let's say we want to look at the short tails that we know are driving performance based on conversion rate, right? Or however we segment it, was like, okay, well, what are those keywords? What are the ones that are medium tail? Because usually the medium tails are the ones that are juiciest. But those medium tails, then we'll go and correlate that across the organic ranks, and you can look and say, okay, I don't think this week I need to be pushing. Like this week I could pull back or turn off, right? Whatever it is. But anyway, that's really interesting, dude. Maybe we can go offline sometime and I can show you kind of like what we're doing and get your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. I can able to. So there is like, that's what I'm saying. I mean, a PPC is like a very simple thing. It's like, if you think a little bit of like a little bit of logical and a little bit of like what's happening with the data, it's easy to come up with a lot of strategy with the PPC. For me right now, they have like a more, and also we always measure the PPC in terms of like a rank as well. We have the 250 point check. Actually, it also has like a the volume, ACOS, conversion with the rank. Actually, what is the rank for that keyword? We can able to correlate. Let's say you spend low, you spend high, the rank goes up, goes down. We can able to correlate that. Which one is like a C4 keyword? We call it a complexity 4 keywords. If I changed my number of clicks daily, my keyword is also goes like this actually.
Right.
So those keywords, we try to be like position ourselves like C4 keywords and make sure that we spend enough budget on those keywords actually. So making sure that we're getting enough clicks, we're getting that enough sales for this keyword if it's an important keyword, right? And it doesn't even matter if it's getting like a morning or night actually. So morning clicks are much higher, like afternoon clicks are much better, evening is like little higher, in the night, which is like much cheaper actually. So at one point of time, you can able to, it varies from product. It's for a product that what we tested. It varies from product to product. We even have like a campaigns, like we created like a 24 campaigns actually for one product, one keyword. So every 1 hour, my team will like turn off and turn on actually completely. So to check the CPC cost, even sometimes we go, if you don't want to risk, if you don't want to do anything, we go and then click from the different system. We go and click on our own actually to find a CPC cost on that hour specifically. So find exactly what hour is like we can do the launch, like to find out what is the CPC cost for that.
Like we just learned that was $6.67 for retinol serum.
You have
I wish one time before I bought 4,000 units, right? So Colin, this was great. And how can people give yourself a shout out? How can brands reach out to you? Do you want brands to reach out to you? I will put a link in the notes, but are you taking on clients? Are you taking on anybody?
Yes, I am taking clients actually. So you can reach out to me through my Facebook or my email at this point. And also, I think I'm gonna put up like I get a lot of requests on the back end, the optimization. Actually, I decide to post something, and I'm going through a lot of things with my personal life. I'm like delaying a little bit. If somebody was interested, definitely put up a comment in my post. I will add you. I'm gonna put up like a Zoom call soon, which is going to be free of cost. It's just like I'm going to share with a lot of people in terms of like how you can able to do that backend optimization straight actually on your listing. Correct.
So yeah, this will probably come out in 2 weeks. So in the meantime, give me some links of content and ways for people to reach you, and I'll put it in the show notes.
100%. I will send it across to you.
Colin, it's been awesome. It's been real. I'm sure I'll see you again. Are you going to be in Manhattan for Innovate in October?
Yeah, probably. Yes, for sure.
Let's hang out, bro.
Are you
It's
coming
like one of the
to
best ones.
London?
It's such a great
Yeah.
show.
Are you coming to London actually?
So when is London?
May 10 actually. You should come down. That's a good session actually.
Yeah, I can't do London. I
What's
can't.
the event? What's the event again, Colin?
Tell a session, Danny.
Yeah, I can't do that one. But hey, Drew and I are going to be in Denver in September for MDS Inspire.
Yeah, well, I'll be there as well for sure.
Okay, there we go. We'll see
catch
you there.
All right, bro. All right,
Okay,
guys.
thanks.
See you, man. Great seeing you again, Colin. I'm gonna follow up with you. We'll be
Oh
in
yeah,
touch.
all the time, anytime.
Take care,
Yeah.
man.